I'm just gonna set something on my watch.
Are we recording right now? Hello, everybody.
What up, gang?
We'll be back.
We're back here another week. Conversationalists, me, myself, Ryan, and Mark himself, and them. How we doing? Good week. I'm glad that it's days off.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're on our.
Here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have.
It was a
Few
long
days.
but short work week for me. I took 2 days off.
Oh
in
yeah,
the week.
I remember
That
you
was
telling
dope.
me that.
Daddy daycare, dude.
Yeah, how is everything healing? Everything going good?
No complaints here.
Well,
Step up where I can.
that's right.
Gonna neglect my children.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first thing we need to talk about. When I saw you at the fucking whatchamacallit.
Oh, the backbone.
And I was like, oh, this guy got a fucking problem, man.
As we all know, fantasy football, NFL, college football 25, all that stuff coming out. Already came out. I have a
11
problem.
years in the making.
I have not gone to bed before 6 a.m. for this last month. I got a problem.
Yeah, that's funny. But I was researching some different things, like they bringing back this dynasty mode. The cool thing that I thought is because of the new like college football thing with the NIL,
Yeah.
like the name, image, likeness. All the players that gave their like face scan or whatever, they got $600 and a free copy of the game. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I like, okay, you can say, oh yeah, it could have been more. Look at the ZA Sports and they're robbing all these people.
It's like billions of dollars.
It's
85
like,
players on a roster.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for the players, getting some exposure, getting
Absolutely
some extra promotional opportunities. We're just doing like a quick check-in episode. This is the last month for all of the sports starts, so that's going to be a big thing. How many fantasy leagues are you in?
I had to cut it back with my bros from the basketball team.
Dude, some of it's hard, especially if the people in your league are like extremely committed. I had one guy, and he used to be in our basketball fantasy league, and he legit would like send you like 12 trades a day.
Doing with your time.
And everybody, I think there was 11 teams, and it was like this guy was doing it to everybody, and it was like, man, like how much access to this do you have?
Dude like that in your league, like
it kills the mood.
Sometimes it's like he's a wild card.
And then they start winning, and then you're like, oh, do I need to invest 4 hours a day?
I will say though that say you're down in you're a basement dweller.
Yeah.
And this dude's just trying to poach all your best players, and you're like, yo, will you fuck off?
Or they want you to run all your draft picks or fucking like shit like that. Or they want you to sell your whole team. They're like, yo, I'll give you 2 first rounds for your whole starting lineup.
I put $100 into this league. Like, I'm not just gonna throw it away. It's just because I'm down like 4 or 5 games.
But then like sometimes you have people on the league that are like actually inactive. And that's like just as frustrating when like people don't set their lineups. People don't
do that right now.
You know what I mean?
Like we got a draft coming up.
I hear you talking about
hey, like, yo,
can you message in the
dude? I gotta pick a date. I gotta see if you're actually wanting to play, stuff like that. I make it so easy for these dudes. It is
you lay it out, man. Yeah, and like the guys that do ours, they're pretty serious about like we do votes, we do a trophy, we get it inscribed every year. It's fun. And like I'm just trying to do my best because now that I moved out here to Alberta, it's these guys are eventually gonna try to kick me out of the league.
Find a new one.
But then one of the guys that is also on the league, he became a sheriff here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, oh, I'm safe. I'm like, oh, I'm good. But this year they're like, okay, we have to like up the stakes because there's people like interprovincial. So we have to, like, someone's going to have to do something stupid. If you get last place, someone's going to have to like
a punishment.
Yeah, like someone's going to have to streak down the road or fucking like, go take a sign downtown. Whatever it is.
Put on like a shitty license plate cover.
Whatever it is, right?
Record yourself in a lake.
And I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I'm like to a degree, but I'm like...
In our big money league for fantasy football, we got one out-of-towner. Shout out Nick, my boy Nick.
Nicholas.
He, I think he's up in Peace River, and this dude, he never shows up for his punishments. He's got like 2 or 3 years worth of punishments that he's have or something.
It's like the person that just loses the game and then just refuses to do it. It's like, bro, you lost.
Yeah. Like a punishment?
Not for like fantasy leagues.
No.
like the average like partying and stuff where like you lose a game, whatever it is. But for
Yeah.
fantasy, no, like I've never had to. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it, and I think like the camaraderie goes up when you
100%.
put the risk up a bit. I'm like, now I'm checking my lineup. One year they
Yeah.
were like, "Yo, you were really inactive, and you didn't really play that much and like, do trades. If you're not in, we're gonna find someone else." So then the next year, I balled out. I was in third place because every day, man, I was like 2 hours,
Yeah.
like
I
researching
remember
stats.
the first time I won it, we weren't playing for money.
So it's I don't care.
Yeah. And then the next year, my buddy, like, all his time invested into fantasy football.
Once it became like pay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It was, I think at the time, like $100 buy-in. So this dude was getting like $1,000 just
Right.
for winning the thing
ours we don't pay till after.
after the season's done. No, because then you don't get the commitment. I feel like if you put the buy-in before the league starts or like around front end of the season, then dudes are like, okay, I have $100 riding on this. Then that gives them
Yeah, it's
incentive
money
to,
already
like,
out of your
yeah.
pocket. I totally agree. Because then what happened was they're like, "Hey, you gonna send this $50?" And I'm like looking at my apps and
Yeah,
stuff.
people are like, I'm not doing that.
Or they're like, "I just don't have the money."
Or that.
Yeah, they're like, "I don't have the
Yeah.
money, man. Sorry." It's wild, dude. But I think our audience can definitely tell that we're excited about sports.
Oh,
I am so excited about sports coming back. And that might be like to some part of our audience, that
Yeah.
may be like, okay, like,
Fuck.
well, whatever. I like the aspect of competitiveness.
As good as the Olympics were,
I watched female volleyball.
there's some
Was
difference,
it?
as we talked about.
Watch Ray-Ban. I had to take
Ray-Ban.
it out of our video,
NBC, CBC,
They don't wanna
they
fuck
are
around.
on that shit.
Yeah, they shut us
want
down.
their Olympic content.
but all of like the
for themselves,
YouTube,
great
all of the
bastards.
YouTube stuff we were able to get on, or the Facebook stuff. So I'm gonna start learning how to like clip the videos in a way to get them going. And
A little bit more professional, I think.
yeah, and I think like maybe we need to.
I got some memes, as I stated before. I'm a meme connoisseur.
Yeah, exactly. We need to
Enjoy
find a
good
way because it is really difficult. We were watching, you know, that guy Beard Meats Food, and he's like a competitive eater. So he's
Okay.
like a huge YouTube guy. I think he has like 4 million subscribers. Like he eats these like, crazy 7,000 calorie meals and like these giant like 10-pound burgers.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Anyways, he was talking about how his most popular video got demonetized. The reason he got demonetized was because they said swearing within the first 2 minutes or excessive swearing throughout. He watched the whole thing, no swearing. He said every time he would go to
Fuck.
this, every time he'd do the support,
Yeah.
he would just be like, "Get your boss," because he's like, "I know, I didn't swear.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure."
That's fucking wild.
He says he says this video gets 30,000 views a day still, and he's like, "Go get your boss, go get your boss." It's crazy, like the world of algorithms and how we even talked about it.
Like your money, man.
We also talked about it a lot at work and throughout knowing each other, like AI and how that's going to look and all of that kind of stuff, where it's that's going to be pretty cool for games. And I think especially sports games, you're going to see another level of machine learning where it's like, how far can the difficulty go? How well
like,
can the guy learn chess to become where he can beat everybody, right?
Going
like,
back to like my college football
addiction.
Like I'm watching videos on how to recruit.
Do you feel like it
it's
translates?
Like, absolutely not.
No.
I know like there's some dudes like
Give me the Under Armour
they
shirt.
hone their skills in that sense
Yeah.
and like, the terminology and whatnot, but like, some of those NFL playbooks are insane.
Oh, but like you look at guys that do say F1, their main method of training is using Formula One, the game. So they all have
Simulators and
those
stuff.
simulators. And so when they came out with F1 24, that was the only available way to test drive the new Vegas track that they came out with.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But basically they were able to create it in a video game before they built it in Vegas.
To an extent, but like the dexterity and like, the reaction time, all
You
that
look
stuff, I'm never gonna have.
You look at T-Pain.
You look at
T-Pain is now a drifter.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
Because it's Nappy Boy Gaming.
He did the
I don't.
Drift King. I can't remember his name.
But it's crazy because this guy became like he had Nappy Boy Gaming.
Gymkhana.
I don't know.
Oh, you ever seen Gymkhana?
No.
Fucking drift around, Drift King.
I know for Circus. Yeah. Travis Pastrana. That
Wasn't he a BMXer guy?
BMX. Or like a motocrosser. I think
Okay.
he was like a motocrosser. That shit was crazy.
Ah.
It was like the same stuff, but for people that like dick road fucking
Johnny Knoxville.
no, that like dick road like cars and fucking
Oh.
like ATVs and it has a 9
If it's got a motor, it's a
Yeah.
sport. Miller's all into.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool though. Like, you see a dude go over his handlebars and stuff over a big jump.
Oh, I don't have the guts.
Never do
I don't even think I have the guts to ride a motorcycle. I thought about it a couple of times.
Fall off his scooter.
Oof. And that's hard enough. I'm all right, man. I don't even want to fall on my own. I almost tripped up the steps going into work today. Spilled my coffee almost. And I said if I told the person behind me, I was like, if I spilled my coffee, I would have just walked out. I would have called it a day. I would have been, that's the day.
There's no,
I had
gotta have that nowhere but up mentality.
I had a friend I was living with. He was walking to school, fell in a puddle, and just skipped school. Yeah. He was like, I'm good, man. Dude, he literally, he slipped and his whole back fell into the puddle. And he was like, I'm good, man. He was like, this day ain't for me. I'm going back to sleep, man. Hopefully it gets better. Yeah, man, it's wild. But going back into the video game stuff and even the NCAA, it's very interesting how much like concept that some of these games can fit in, where it's like some of these games, even if it's not a sports game, say it's like a RPG or like a story, where it's like they have so much stuck into it, where it's like you have to play hours and hours just to get it.
I think now that, they're implementing like AI into how the computer thinks or how they react to a play call or what you're doing in the game. Like I know Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto, they're trying to do stuff like that where you go on this spree and the police respond. They're not just going to line up and be like, hey,
like a flanking
They're
position.
actually going to flank you out and wait for backup, stuff like that.
And while I was putting these show notes together, I was asking like AI questions, and I was like, give me like some proof that there's not going to be consoles, because that's what I believe. I was like, after the PS5, like there's not really going to be like any more console. Like that's it. We're just going to have PCs. And basically what the AI told me, which is fuck knows if it's true, it was like, you're not going to see people get rid of consoles, but like consoles aren't going to have any guts in them. It's just going to be like something to connect to cloud gaming. You know what I mean? Like eventually the internet's like, going to get so powerful, but the games
crossplay, right?
But the thing is, this is my qualm about it. Is okay, the internet gets faster, but the games get better. So more data needs to be transferred. So the internet gets better, but the game gets, like the internet gets faster, but the game has more quality. It's bigger in size. So it's like, is this like a rope we're never going to, are you ever going to get to a point where it's like when you were like logging in from the Wi-Fi, say, on one of those backbones, is it like good?
Quality was like top notch. It was better than what I had at home.
Oh, I might get one.
Because I know some people watch.
Yeah.
I need them knowing what I do.
I'm talking about what you do, like in general.
I could walk around. Like I know we had the PSP for years, Game Boys, stuff like that, but I just pop my phone on it.
They even had
here we go.
They even had like Vita, and they had like the Play
Switch and stuff.
Yeah, but you had like the Vita where it had like a connect to the PS4.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was ass. You know what I mean? Like it was never like, it's not like you could play like Call of Duty on it. It's not like it had the buttons that you needed. But those backbones were like legit.
Yeah.
Like they're legit.
Endorse.
Yeah.
Addiction some more.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we can get a hold of some EA reps, give us some free shit. But we're more likely to get a deal in men's or women's fragrance than we are to get a gaming sponsorship.
Might get a sponsorship by Sheen.
Men's. So like I told you guys that I went on this site and applied for whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Basically ad runs and shit like that. And it's really interesting what ones there are. There's some for these little indie films where they need a male Mexican man between the ages of 35 and 55. Like, bro, is that racist?
They need any voice work?
You have to do like a profile for the voiceovers and stuff.
Okay.
So all of this content I upload to this like site.
Yeah.
And then you have a profile. So when you apply to these postings, or like spots or casting, whatever the fuck it is, they could come look at your profile, watch your videos, and it wouldn't let me put like everybody's height and stuff. So it's like, because you gotta put like your height, your weight, your skin color. Like
nobody need to know that.
No, because that's how they cast you. It was way more in depth with just getting like ad reads. It was like people would go there for acting roles, and like some you had to fly to Texas for this indie film or whatever, and some were like product reviews, or like you would endorse like you would do like an unboxing or whatever it is.
International Bollywood star Mark Lawson.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually funny you said that. There was this country star that was like, he had all this stuff on Spotify. He was not really that famous in the US, but apparently in South Africa, he was like a superstar.
I don't think I told you that.
So then some person got a hold of him and was like, hey, like, you need to come to South Africa. And he's like selling out arenas. Like, he's like a megastar.
That's crazy.
You're like, that's crazy. That's some wild shit.
I'm always so curious as to how much do they get paid? Like, you see the glitz, the glamour, the fame, the fortune, all that stuff. You got to pay for these venues, equipment, for people to fly or drive equipment. Like, there's so much that goes into it. Like, I remember Doyle was saying something about, like, you do a show, but then like, there's all these kickbacks and stuff.
Of people you
I think it was an electronic duo or something.
Right.
Yeah, they made like 100,000, 60,000 of it goes towards other people and other things.
Dude, even like these guys make a good amount of money. Even take it to UFC fighters.
Yeah.
And
take.
Oh yeah, like these guys make 50,000, but they'll maybe walk away with $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and then you look at the numbers of like how much the pay-per-view was,
right,
or like what this guy's making. And
but people complain about that, and like people get like in their feelings about that shit. But it's, do you not have to keep a level of competition? This is the top of the top. Like, you're at the top 1%, even less. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, we're paying you 50,000 because like we can't use you on highlight reels. Like, you're just going the distance and making it through like significant shots.
Yeah, it's not fun,
right? Even a guy like Connor McDavid gets a huge contract, and then like guys like ride it out on minimums. It's like, you, unfortunately, you know where you are.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't make it?
Brady. Yeah. Everybody thinks, well, everybody knows he's the GOAT, but for the longest time, he always took like a pay cut. So he could field a good team around him, or the defense could have good players and stuff. And when it came time for him to get paid, they're like, oh, we can't do that. And then he's like, I'm going to retire.
Yeah.
I'm bounce Tampa Bay, win a couple more rings, you know?
Yeah. And it's interesting because every time I think about when people go, oh, like professional sports makes too much, and you look at power slap and everybody's like trying to monetize like people getting slapped in the face and this and that. And you say, yeah, these people are making money and everything's great. But I always look back to the Allen Iverson thing of, yo, I lost this season. My brother died.
Oh,
like I'm
something bigger than this.
And then it's like, there's rumors of me getting traded. I was the MVP of the league.
Yeah.
And you guys are talking about trading me? Yeah. MVP of the league. Yeah. And I'm getting traded? You guys understand, like, I bleed like you bleed. Like, I'm only human, man. Like, you can only come at me so hard. And then, like, you look at Kyrie Irving, and he's like the next Allen Iverson, he shows his feelings. He's like very out there in terms of like his wisdom and shit like that. But I always look back at that and go, okay, yeah, you think they make too much, but like, you would never be on like a basketball court. You're never going in a ring and getting knocked out. It's fine and dandy, but at the same time, it's like, you're also the one that watches it. So who's the idiot?
Got the TV money that came in there in the 90s. Like, for sure, it was definitely
like when even like Bob Cousy playing and stuff.
Yeah, like
even a guy like Dennis Rodman.
Arenas, but now it's like you can reach an entire planet worth of people.
Even a guy like Dennis Rodman or Scottie Pippen, who basically were told they were undervalued, took shitty contracts, and then they go to another team or they retire, and then they start to look around.
Pippen is just one of those dudes that's just been fucked over his entire life.
Yeah, some people, they're too nice. Yeah. Like, you look at it, James Harden, people go, oh, he's a toxic locker room. It's like, bro's just trying to get the bag.
It's business, man.
He's trying
you
to
hear it. All these dudes, they go into contract talks. It's like,
but
I want to do this.
How much of it is that, and how much of it is like the corporate management, business, like just doing their thing, and it just becomes a standard over time of, oh, you score this many points, you do this, analytics say this. Okay, we're looking for 100 mil.
Yeah.
Oh, analytics say this. Let's look 40 to 60 mil over fucking 3 years. Oh, let's look at like this. Oh, let's look at 10 mil over 5 years. Like, the people, but I think, I don't know a lot of sports in depth, but I know that like basketball is one of those sports where it's so analytic heavy.
Yeah, tracking.
And it's just, oh, you infer so much about someone by the statistics, and then you don't draft them, and then they become like all-stars, and you're like, oof.
Too many variables.
And I think it's just information. It's too much stimulation. I don't need to know that much. Like points, rebounds, assists, turnovers, steals.
But then it's, I don't know. You have these teams, they're feeling like it's not just like, oh yeah, I got an offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, a head coach. No, you got like an entire analytics team that's like, if we do such and such on first down, or if we score however many points in the first quarter,
right,
we're going to be successful. And if the numbers show that, then like, why wouldn't you keep rolling with that? It sucks because to the casual.
And you're like, how much do people rely on like their gut feeling when that shit like goes up? You look at like the coaches that like a lot of times when they get interviewed in like documentaries and stuff, they were like, I just did my fucking thing.
Numbers told me who to play.
Yeah. And I was going to say, so this is what I was just telling you before we started, was like, I think Coach Kerr, Stephen Kerr, is like starting to become one of those like basketball fucking, like controlling like the mannequins.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's in the background, like
Illuminati.
Yeah, like I didn't bench Tatum I benched him because he had poor performance.
Yeah.
But I also benched him because I want the Boston
like a rival.
Like I want the Boston Celtics locker room to not have faith in him to perform. So if I was able to make his performance a little shittier, people would start doubting him, and maybe
then you factor in like Jaylen Brown. He didn't get selected, and Derek White got selected over him. But
exactly, and Derek White played more than Jason Tatum. Right?
It's pieces to the puzzle, because Derek White actually played really well during the Olympics. Like he was a guard that they could start in all four quarters. At the end of the game, like he plays defense, plays hard. But when it came to Jason Tatum, it's like, how do you fit him in when you have narrative of Kevin Durant and LeBron James most likely their last Olympic run, or Steph Curry and stuff like that, right? And so they've dominated on the international level for so long that it's just have to let them do their thing. Are you seriously going to bench a LeBron James or Kevin Durant? Or
no, because you're like giving them their flowers by letting them play. So you're showing them respect.
Even the conspiracy hype of, oh, he's trying to like sabotage the Boston Celtics or create a rift or whatever, but it's like, everybody does it in a sense, whether it's post-game press conferences or how you're going to run your defensive coverages or whatever it is, right?
Kind of like the energy where you're just like, oh, there's a time and a place to do this. There's a time and a place to push it. What I found really interesting was I saw this post on Facebook, and they said there's different perspectives where you have a guy like Tyrese Halliburton that gets selected, and that he's like with the bench chilling. I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. And then you have like Jason Tatum, who's like sitting there like, why am I
sulking?
Why am I not getting time? So it's like a very thing of,
but it's like, I mean,
he just got the fucking cover of 2K25.
I think if they
shit,
he's pretty cheesy.
He's corny as
fuck. The memes are banging.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
The memes are absolutely banging. But it's had the U.S. stumbled and didn't win gold or didn't medal.
Oh, they would have blamed it not playing.
It's like, maybe Jason Tatum was the answer. But it's like, like they had a mission, they had a goal to win gold, obviously, and they won that. And you just got to put it to rest.
Yeah. It is interesting. And going on the sports thing, we talked about off air, we were like, yo, like, our off season's that important anymore? Is the flair of an off season really that much? I was just watching a YouTube video. They were talking about like the top 8 LeBron moments, and one of them was like that he did like the live ESPN, the decision.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you ain't never seeing that again.
Yeah.
Like,
he has the power in the media to
like maybe who could we say that would like possibly do that?
Like, it'd be like ESPN remove me getting on a poster or something like that.
No, I think he would be like, I want to be the decision guy. I'm ready to leave the Spurs. I'm going to put it on Twitch. Like,
but it's just another factor in the whole like TV deal, media rights, all that stuff, right? That's why you see a lot of these leagues, NBA, NFL, they're going, instead of like, we're just going to have our draft over the weekend. It's like, no, we can make this a 4-day event, include the fans, and get like an extra couple millions of dollars invested into our sport.
Some of that All-Star weekend, like you get all these artists to come out, and you're like, "Where's the basketball?"
Yeah,
like,
I feel like All-Star weekend for the most sports these days. It's like, nobody wants to get hurt.
Those things where you just like you're beating a dead horse. Like you've already done everything. You've done like time, like eras. You've done global versus US. You've done fucking whatever. And it's like, all right, man, we get it. Like, we got to find like a whole new thing. We got to find like a whole new invitational. Like now we have the in-season tournament, but that's also kind of corny because now they always go to the Sphere, and now it's this
Well,
big.
I mean,
like,
money talks, man. Dude at the end of the bench, and it's I don't see playing time.
oh,
and I see this dude, and it's I have a chance to earn $5 million, and I'm making $600,000.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and push you a little bit. Or
they probably play the start. They probably play their depending on how the team's form is and how they're performing. Say they go up by 10. And, oh, okay, you want to go out? We'll give you fucking 2-3 minutes. To see what happens. Like, we'll let you go out there.
I know
if you score a couple points, we'll give you another couple minutes, and then
the NBA, like it seems like their solution to the All-Star Weekend and stuff is just throw money at it.
Yeah,
with the in-season
advertisements, more people.
Yeah, like see if these players actually want to like throw down and play. But it's like there's a dude making $40 million a season.
It's crazy.
$50 million a season at the age of 32, 33, like past most people's
inflation.
And it's like these NBA TV deals are just, they're so astronomical.
Hashtag cost of living, dog.
Yeah, give me that cola.
Inflation.
Cola, baby.
They're like, oh, yeah, the fucking tax dollars going up. We need fucking 80% more. But it is like performance. You see it the most when I'm watching combat sports, where you see a guy just got recruited from Toronto, I believe, and they made this big media thing. What's this big media thing? Boom, gets knocked out. Boom, goes to Contender Series. It's this big thing. Oh, he's so lucky because they basically watch him fight in a minor league or another expansion league, like in Canada or whatever it is. That's basically not the whatever. Just like in MMA, they're already pros. They've had the pro record, and he's looking to bring them on the Contender Series. So this guy wins his fight. It's a pretty good fight. They do this big media op, and then he goes to Vegas. He fights in the Contender Series. Boom, knocked out. It's like, good luck next time. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. See you later. So it's one of those things where you just like, people don't really see like the extremes of it. You know what I mean? And then you go, oh, imagine you putting your career on the line like every night. Like, if this is a brutal knockout, I'm going to be a joke. Like, I'm going to turn into a meme. They're going to have me falling and then riding a motorcycle out of the fucking, they're going to post-op me like on a fucking stretcher, wheeling me out or something as a meme.
Rod.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, so you look at it and go, man, it's worth the money.
Claim it's a deep fake.
You just go, and in that sense, like anybody that complains about like the pays and shit like that, it's like, okay, like I agree. You know what I mean? I think they deserve whatever they're getting paid. It's none of my business. I don't know how the numbers are calculated. People can't ask me why I get paid what I get paid. But people probably think that I get paid too much. So it's okay, cool. So they're just in another level of, oh, you think 70 million's too much? Like, I was just working for 40 million and now I'm at 70. So I just don't care.
Yeah, it's hard to like be like, oh, like poor you.
And who do you think this guy interacts with? Like, the guy making 70 million a year isn't talking to people that are like, you make too much money. It's like everybody he's around also makes.
Or they're like feeding
rich.
Off of them.
Yeah, or they're richer. Or they just want to like bag lick them. You know what I mean? So it's funny, man. I really enjoy it. NFL. I don't really know much about NFL, but I know there was 3 new rules that got announced. I'm trying to learn more about
kickoff.
I'm trying to learn more about sports, so I try to do my due diligence for you. And
that was a good time. It's like a dedicated day of the week where you just watch games.
That's the coolest. Every game is like set
for like, this is the day that I can't watch the kids. I'm just
day of just like, I'm good.
I don't get those days.
First rule, hybrid kickoff rule, inspired by the XFL. The NFL has adopted a new kickoff format.
Like it.
The kicker now kicks from the 35-yard line, and the other 10 players on the kicking team lineup at the receiving team's 40-yard.
The ball's caught.
Oh, that's actually pretty dope.
Having this dude running at me for 40 yards with his head first with this hard plastic thing.
He's already accelerated.
These dudes are like world-class athletes. It's like Shit still hurts, man.
Yeah, this one I found cool, and I don't know if I like interpreted it right because I assume this is like, not break people's legs or a hip drop tackle ban.
The tackles, they look bad.
Like, because
I won't
they
lie,
go
like-
at the knees.
So what they'll do is like they'll wrap their arms around your hip, and then they'll just sink their whole body weight. And as they pull you down, your knee is like stuck in the turf, right? So your knee's not going anywhere, your foot's not going anywhere,
So they
but your whole
twist it.
body's like moving. So you're like ACL, MCL, PCL,
Oh, they just
CCL,
rip your shit
all
up.
that stuff just messed. Guys are out for the year. Say it's a contract year, they're not getting paid.
Or
They're
the
not
guy,
coming back.
or the
They
guy at
gotta
the
go
Super
through
Bowl
years of
steps onto
rehab.
the field and blows his Achilles.
That's bad.
And then onside kicks.
I don't like that.
Teams must now declare their intention to attempt an onside kick in advance, and these attempts are limited to the fourth quarter when the team is trailing. This change removes
I
the
don't like
element
that.
of surprise, which was a key feature of the onside kicks in the past.
I don't like that. There's 3 phases of the game. You got offense, defense, and special teams. If you can't complete a pass, or you can't stop a run, or if you can't kick a field goal, those are all the 3 phases. If I want the element of surprise, it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, we're running a pass play here, you better get on your defensive heels.
So
It's
have
like,
to have memory.
dude, some of these playbooks, like I was saying,
80 plays. Yeah.
thick.
What's the average play you'd say is in a playbook? Like 60, 40, 50?
I'd say that's the number of like options for a single player.
What, 60?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're
Yeah,
saying
if you're,
there's
if
like
you're
over
thinking
like
like
500.
routes
Oh,
for like
and then you
a
have special teams,
receiver.
defense. So then it's like you have defensive plays, offensive plays, special
Yeah,
teams plays.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking? Like 500?
There's some plays that don't even get used all season. And then it's like, hey, remember when we practiced this like the
Like the
first week of
longest
training
yard?
camp? Yeah, the Philly special.
Yeah.
I don't think they pulled that out at all that entire year. And then it's next thing you know, like Nick Foles is Philadelphia sports folklore because he ran this play. They won the Super Bowl
And
against
now
Tom
he's a
Brady
genius.
and the Patriots, and now he's like, yeah,
Yeah. Write
Philly
a book.
fans are tough,
Write a book.
but they embrace it.
That's right, man. Philly.
I don't like that onside kick rule. You're just, I don't know, sticking people in a box, sticking coaches in a box on what they can call. And
Yeah, I don't really know much about it, so I'm not really going to speculate on what
scare.
okay. One thing I looked at too was, is the market for quarterbacks going to continue to decline?
Decline?
Yeah.
I think it's going up.
Yeah?
Everybody, it's always been, we need a quarterback. We need that. It's the most important position in all of sports. Back 100%.
The NFL's running back market will continue to decline. The NFL has seen a significant shift in how teams value running backs as offenses become more pass heavy and the running back by committee approach gains popularity. Teams are
Yep.
less willing to invest big money in one single running back.
Physical sport. I know they're trying to enhance player safety with these
But they do-
guardian
now they
caps
get rid of the
and no
tackles.
hip tackles,
Yeah.
and before it was no collar, horse collar tackles, and it's just like with the amount of NCAA college football athletes, whether they're wide receivers or running backs, these guys, there's 120 teams.
Are the rules much
Right.
different for NCAA and
Not really.
like you look at college basketball and college and then professional? There's like a drastic difference.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of
Football,
the disparity between the two, there's a little bit.
is it smaller?
Yeah. Smaller disparity between like college football to NFL,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like NBA, it's like
Huge. It's like you're talking a whole 2 quarters.
point average score per season in NCAA, and like you're not making the league
Yeah.
unless you're
Unless
LeBron
you're putting
James's
out.
kid.
Or- yeah.
For-
Okay, here's the deal with Bronny James. You heard it here first. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you because you guys need to know. He's going to play 10 minutes of NBA to appease. They're going to pause the game. Everybody's going to kiss LeBron's ass. They're going to do a huge promotional video. And then he's going to walk on. They're not going to allow him to sit on the bench. And then he's going to walk out of the arena. And then he's going to go to the G League team that's under Los Angeles Lakers and go to die there.
I think he's going to get a little bit more limelight than just like 10 minutes a game. I
They'll
think
be like,
it'll
give
be
him
like a
another
week,
chance.
2 weeks.
Give him
like,
another
oh, he's at the end of the
chance.
bench, end of the rotation. See if we can work him in. And either Los Angeles Lakers, like they have media consultants and all these people that are like really communication savvy.
Well,
It's just gonna be like, okay, yeah, like this is what you're gonna do with Bronny, and eventually, hey, we're gonna flip the switch and we're gonna be like going to playoff mode where
well, this
we
is
gotta win
where
games.
that thing that I sent you about Steph Curry. It's like, what if
You
he's
can't talk or missing the playoffs.
what?
You can't talk about missing the playoffs with Steph.
No, I'm saying with him getting like I'm saying because he like removed that he was a guard on the Warriors
contact.
and shit like that.
Yeah,
Maybe he's the new Lakers starting PG. I can't see them affording him. I can't see them. Who are you gonna trade away? D'Angelo Russell? Like he's definitely not worth it. Get ready to give all your draft picks away that you got from Anthony Davis.
No, I don't see it happening. Just from a respect with
like Golden
with
State.
Steph and Golden State, like their
What's
their
the
owners.
GM? What's the guy? So you have Steve Kerr, but you also have that other dude. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm thinking of Boston. Brad
Richards. Bob Myers stepped down
Okay, that's who it is.
to who it used to be.
Wasn't the logo running?
Oh, Jerry West. Yeah,
Was
he
he
had
coaching or
front
was he
office
managing it? Man,
He was a consultant. That was his official title for the last 20 years.
Shout out that HBO series.
He was not happy with his portrayal.
Oh, really? Because he
No,
came
he
off
didn't
as
like
such a
it.
dick?
Yeah,
That
Brad
makes
Stevens.
sense. Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
He looks like a weenie.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
really good at his job.
He is. Same was Bob Myers.
Now he's with Washington Commanders and Magic
wow.
Johnson.
That's really interesting how people go from like a
Yeah.
whole different, because you're
Sure.
like, oh, the bargaining agreement between the players is different. The associations are different. Like the way we do trades,
Yeah, more so
like a financial, like
there's that.
like
yeah.
they're more of like a books type thing, or like doing the
Mhm.
numbers, or like
Yeah, yeah.
negotiating.
Because like you can't be like, oh, let me scout talent for NBA, and then it's like you don't know how this dude run routes. You don't know technique of a
Exactly.
defensive.
So there's
back
only
line.
going to be a certain amount of positions
Mhm.
that you could be eligible for.
Just that. I think it's also like organizational structure. Like, hey, we want to bring in the right people. Like, oh, this person, they got a negative attitude. Like, I can either work with that, or I can be like, hey, like if you don't smarten up, like you're not going to be around this organization.
Or what people don't consider is that like sometimes you're so influential where they literally create a position that's dedicated to whatever your skills are. It's like, we're not hiring you to be a coach. We're not hiring you like just like a consultant. Like we don't really know what you're going to do, but we need you over here.
Like you think Drake and the
As,
Toronto
like, the
Raptors,
ambassador.
you think him being the ambassador is, oh yeah, like the players are going to play
No,
harder.
they're-
Yeah, we're just
because-
we're generating interest.
Yeah.
People know associated with
And it's a
Toronto Raptors.
business transaction, right? Like he gets a court, he does the jerseys,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. I think
Holler
Drake,
as a
regardless
young
of the
woman.
Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, I always thought like Drake was corny.
one.
I thought he did really bad in the beef,
Yeah.
but like I pretty well enjoyed his catalog. It's not like I thought he was dog shit, but I think like his
I got some banger.
but I think his attitude like outside of like the artistry, like you even look at some players to bring it back to sports, you look at like some artistry, or like you look at people's performance, and then you look at a James Harden. It's like, that's probably not the guy I'm too fond of.
Yeah.
But
He
like,
quits in the playoffs.
you know what I mean? But he plays, he gives me some type of enjoyment when I'm watching. Blah,
Six
blah,
step
blah.
back though.
But he's never going to be as good as Houston.
Yeah.
He's never going to be as good as Houston.
He's past his
Harden.
prime,
Oh, for sure,
which
man.
is crazy because he got another contract and he's going to make what, 40 mil a season.
See Fred VanVleet.
Him?
Fred VanVleet.
What about him?
I'm excited to see how he does this year. Is he in?
Oh, he's in Houston.
Yeah, I love it.
Me too.
Him and Dylan Brooks.
Love
I
their
love
coach.
it, man.
Udoka.
Yeah, dude, I love it, man. It's great. I think they're gonna be
Dude cheated on Nia Long.
I think they're gonna ball out. I'm also
Yeah, I
looking
think,
at
He went down with an injury and like that kind of derailed their playoff chances.
At least they got a good front court.
Mm-hmm.
They got a good front court, so it's like hopefully there's a couple got.
Whitmore.
I want to say Capella, but he's not. He's in
He's
Atlanta.
in Atlanta.
in
Like Cam Whitmore, the guy they drafted last year.
Right.
He's pretty good.
And there was one more.
West should be coming back from injury. Jabari Smith Jr.
That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
The
They got
next
some good
team.
pieces.
The next team I'm thinking about too is Sacramento.
Fucking DeMar DeRozan.
Dude, I'm a huge DeMar DeRozan dick rider.
I'll give him that.
He has like, I think he has a chip on his shoulder because he got traded for Kawhi Leonard and then they won the chip. So I think he has like something to prove of, oh, I was never the guy to carry a team or get them all the way.
Mhm.
So like, hopefully I can be on a team that I be the resemblance of what Kawhi was and like I save a team. I don't think he's able to do it. I don't think he is going to do it.
Yeah.
But it would be really cool to see them in the postseason
Yeah.
and then start to bang out some series. And then
I
I
mean-
would really be like, oh shit, this might happen.
I
I
mean,
don't see
the
it-
West is so tough.
Yeah. I don't see them making even
Luka
like the West.
essentially West Finals.
Even see them making the
Finals by himself.
Yeah.
But DeMar, I don't know. It's like
He's hot and cold.
him seeing Kawhi Leonard win a title with the franchise that he was with for all those years. Excuse me. It would be disheartening, and it sucks. But like Kawhi Leonard, it's not flashy, but like, the dude plays defense when he shows up,
Yeah.
and he's really efficient.
It's
and
only
he
the
can
fact that
shoot
he's
the rock,
injury
like,
prone, man. Only thing. And I don't know, man. But you also say too, like he did his time. He's doing the load management. I don't
Yeah.
really agree with it.
don't-
But at the same time, like I'm not buying tickets to go see the Clippers.
I wouldn't mind checking out their new arena.
I think it's going to be
That's sick.
hella expensive. But yeah, I would really like. I like the fact that they have like a 360 screen,
Like, yeah,
like
screen.
game board. So there's no game board in the center. There's
Mhm.
just like a 360
The
screen.
wall?
Yeah,
With all the
that's sick.
fans.
and you can only
And
wear fan
incentive.
gear.
Yeah.
And you can
And if
only.
you're standing up your seat, all these analytics, they know that you're
Oh,
like
they can
you're
do the
standing and
sound
you're cheering and stuff.
specifically. It's and that's just like where and they're going to use filming through drones.
Dude, the camera angles, I pray. As much as I'm sad that like NBA on TNT and like Charles Barkley and all those guys are getting like kind of
Signed. Apparently, they all signed.
to
Oh, it's-
TNT, but TNT doesn't have the rights to the NBA.
Oh, so now
And they made like a last ditch effort to be like, hey,
because
match
I
the
heard
offer, but it's-
Amazon. I
yeah,
heard
like-
Amazon was buying them,
Mhm.
but then
So
they
like Amazon or Netflix, all these different pieces, all these different media companies, they can bid on however many games they want. And the NBA is, oh, okay, cool. We'll give you 10 games here. We'll give you 20 games there, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I think the NBA is just, we want to go with more of a streaming
oh.
type. So
It makes sense is because this kind of brings us into another thing too, where you talk about like cable television. Okay, are these streaming services like the end of cable
we got
television?
cable.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like things are so big now and like things are going so fast. At some point, I'm not going to need a box and a remote. I'm just going to be like, play me Dexter season 1, 2020.
Oh, what's the Apple stuff that you put on your face? Apple Vision or whatever?
Dude, and then like
Oh,
Google,
dude, like eager.
dude, apparently like Google just announced at like CES or whatever technology show that they're going to have these buds for like $200 that are going to be able to translate up to 40 different languages real time. It's like, bro, people ain't going to have to
Future
use
is
shit.
now, old man.
Dog, come here.
Ralph, future is now.
Future's now and you need to back up.
Interesting to see.
Uh,
Said it's unfortunate to see Kenny and Charles Barkley and all those dudes. Shaq.
I want to see
I
shit.
think Shaq will come back. I think Charles Barkley's sick. He will retire.
Yeah. And like, he was one of these guys where he's always wrong on his pick. And then it became like a meme where he would like, and it's like,
He's
the
good
per-
entertainment.
picking the wrong teams.
Weren't they winning like Emmys?
Oh, yeah. Like they were
Excuse me.
really good together. Ernie's kind of the glue and he's the one that navigates the whole shit. And then everybody else is just like commenting
Mhm.
and like, giving their expert opinion. I loved it.
Are we still live?
Bro, sit the fuck
Still
down.
Smart enough.
So yeah.
It's good content.
Do you ever think that Netflix is going to absorb everything?
Yeah, I could see.
I
I mean,
could
they're
see
already
either
trying
Amazon
to do
Prime.
busting into sports media content.
They're doing the
Full
live stuff.
swing.
They're doing the live stuff, which made me be like, oh, how long before they just have like they just do live sports,
Yeah.
live everything? Like it's
I
gonna be
think that's what they're
boxing.
trying to break
Ralph,
into.
No,
Stupid haircut. Stupid haircut.
yeah, okay. One more thing, and we're gonna wrap it up.
Let's shoot.
Actually, I have so much, but
Ooh,
we're getting
fashion.
close to finishing up here. Do you think this is LeBron's last year to be an MVP contender?
be an MVP
to
pick?
be in the MVP contention, like to actually be talked about in winning an MVP. You think he's putting up
Part of me
20
is just
points
like
this season?
he's cheesy. He's like, pick me. But then, dude, at this age and you're still producing, like,
Anything
that's pretty
possible.
crazy. Like,
Anything's possible.
it's like he's being like the numbers don't lie. He's a good player. He's not my GOAT,
Yeah.
but the numbers are there. He's also being spoon-fed the ball from a very young age of 18 years old and was the face of the franchise, face of the league pretty much from jump. So, of course, he's going to have the numbers. But in terms of him being an MVP, he's always being slighted.
I think he's going to do. I didn't think he's going to do more of coaching his son, and I think he's going to delve more into
like facilitator,
be more of looking for the legacy role.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Of like, how can I prop my son up to stay in the league or get minutes?
Yeah.
Dude, I think he knows. I just got to get what I can here. I just got to get him on the court, call it a day, say I played with my son. Or what if they both trade as a package deal to like fucking, I don't know, like some
who?
LeBron James and Bronny James to like Detroit.
I don't know what dirt this dude has on Jeannie Buss or Rob Pelinka or whatever.
But they should have never drafted him.
Should have never drafted him.
Well, they
and
said
it's some Bronny, maybe it's just me and personal preference, but it's dude, go forge your own path, man. Dude, you got to
should have went to like
too.
Australia
or like overseas. Whatever you want. Go back to college. I understand there's nobody in the NBA that's ever played with their father. So it's like that gimmick is kind of.
But technology's different now, right? Technology's a lot different in terms of.
Go play 2K with your son.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good Hallmark story.
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron's getting another MVP. The top end talent, Giannis, Luka, sometimes guys like Dane Book, they'll go off for an entire year and have like a career year. It's what LeBron does is just consistent. And nobody likes consistency. They like seeing a dude that can cram on a dude like Anthony Edwards, night in, night out. Oh shit, this dude's a highlight factory. Yeah. Or step back three. There's just too many variables, and props to him for doing this long.
And yeah, we're
MVP caliber.
I think this is the year where he like turns in, not necessarily like a bench player, but like he's always been number one. I think he turns into 1 in 0.5.
I think they still need you'll never see a team where LeBron's like,
no, I think
I'm going to be off in the corner.
Between him and AD, it's going to be like 1.5.
Yeah, but it's not in his blood. It's not in his mentality to just be like, you know what, you bring the ball up.
He's always going to take it to the raft.
Yeah.
With that, we're taking it to the finish line here. And as we work incredibly about sports, we can't wait to talk about it in the season coming forward. There's some really good topics we covered. Hopefully you enjoyed this. We will be coming back next week. Can't wait to see you all then.
Might be me. Might not be me.
Might be him. Most likely it's going to be him. But if he's not, then
just happy to be here.
It's going to be maybe Constantine, maybe someone else. But who knows? Thank you and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Gang.